This time on Scott's Garage, we're going to anchor the new TV to the wall to make it earthquake safe. Hello and welcome to Scott's Garage. Today, we're going to do sort of an impromptu project. We have the man cave here, and this morning there was a 4.4 earthquake that was, I don't know, it was kind of far away, but it did shake a little bit in here when I was sitting here watching TV. And then I realized that my new 65-inch LG is not anchored whatsoever. I have the old marks on the wall. So got a couple of things that I want to do. First of all, I want to anchor this so in the event of an earthquake, it doesn't fall. I have some mounting points down here. I'm going to try to find some fasteners that would go in there, and then maybe I can put a fastener in the wall and kind of, put like a strap. But also, I want to move the TV up a little bit. It's a bit low, so if I could get it up just about, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches, that would be best. And if it could tilt like forward a little bit, because we do have a window here and the glare from the window is kind of bad, so it's good if it tilts forward. So I want to make a base that it raises it up and tilts it forward a little bit, and then I also want to get some fasteners and straps and anchor it to the wall. So let's do that today, right now. All right, so a couple of things. You can see a photo. I found a couple of screws that go in the back. The back of the TV has some metal anchors, I believe, that go into a metal plate that's inside, so it's pretty secure. I found a couple of screws that go on there, and you can see that photo right here. This project is in a couple of parts. The second part that we're going to do is anchor it to the wall. The first part we're going to do is make a little platform to raise it up off of the, what'd you call that, credenza, and to tilt it forward a little bit. So if you look at a photo here of my chicken scratch, I'm going to make just a simple couple of 2x4s along the side, and then a piece of plywood about 11 inches by 20 inches. And we'll sand it and maybe paint it black so it matches the rest of it. And after we get that and get the TV on there, then we can start thinking about actually anchoring it to the wall so we don't have any problems during an earthquake. All right, so the first thing to do is let's cut a couple of 2x4s and the piece of plywood, and we'll put those together. So I got this really nice piece of plywood, and I think I'm going to cut it like this. And I have my fence set to 20 inches here. Okay, so we have it pretty much at 20. That's pretty much right on the dot there. And then I think this is a pretty nice edge here. Let's put a framing square on that and make sure. I think this is the factory edge. I think I'm getting a little bit carried away with myself about this measurement, but that is perfectly square. So we're square all the way here. I just need to take a cut off of that. So I'm just going to put my little marker right on 11. Doesn't have to be exact. And then we're just going to run this guy through. There we go. Now that's the right size, and it's a really nice piece of wood too. So if I decide to paint it, it's going to look really nice. Okay, so let's chop these off at 11 inches. All right, so I have my two risers and my panel. That's going to make a nice sturdy base. But the thing that I have to do is I need to tilt it a little bit. And so I need to think about how much I want to tilt it and how I want to do it. So let me think about that a little bit. All right, so for no particular reason at all, I think I'm going to make it 3.5 inches on one end and 3 inches on another. So in other words, I'm going to drop a 1/2 inch, like 3 inches. And I just connect this line. And then this will be the front. And then this will be the back. And I'll just line it up and cut it on my panel saw. All right, so I have my line right here. And what I'm going to do, there. So if I sight down that point there, it's on this side of where the blade's going to be. And then I lined up the inside of this right with the inside of the blade. So now if I push it through, it's going to make a perfect angle. And that's not perfect, but heck, I think that's all right. So then I just take my second piece here. And I can use my first piece as a guide. Look at what side I want to cut off. Yeah, maybe this side here, huh? So something like that. And we do the same thing. And at the tip there, and our mark right there. And away we go. Okay, so I have my top front marked here. This is the small side. And this is the big side in the back. And all we're going to do is just line these up, drill a couple of pilot holes. Just trying to make sure that they're real nice and lined up here. And we're going to do one here. And one here. Now I think what I'm going to do is maybe putty these and sand the whole thing. You know what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to try this upstairs on the TV and see how it looks. Okay, so I tried my spacer here, and the height looks just about right. The angle looks just about right. Here is the screws, and these screws are going to line up with these top holes here. So the next thing to do is find out like which top holes went into studs. So let's go ahead and putty up some of these holes and give this whole thing a good sand. And now I open this ancient bucket of paint, and it's time to give it a good coat.
The next morning.
All right, well this should be dry now. Give it a nice coat of paint, and then I put on some of these feet here. So let's go check and see how it fits upstairs on the TV. All right, let's go. All right, so I put a little line right here. That's where my spacer is going to line up. And the unpainted part is the back. Leans a little forward. Okay, line up right there with the mark. And then I have my anchor right here for my strap. All I have to do is just put this up onto the platform. Okay, so I'm going to cut a small loop here out of this strapping material for your water heater. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to put this loop on the wall. And then what I'm going to try to do is loop that around and see if I can secure it somehow with the screw. So let's see. If I stood up here and I put this through here, I have sort of two screws going into the back of the TV. They're into a metal bracket. Give you kind of a wider angle here. And so we have this tilted just a little bit to reduce the glare from the window. And we'll check that out in a minute. And we have it fastened for earthquake. So I think we're good to go. What do you think, Willie? You like it? Good? I think that just about does it for this project. I think we accomplished two things. Actually, three things. We moved the TV up a little bit because it was a little bit low. And sometimes when I was sitting there, I kind of had trouble seeing the bottom of what was on the TV. So we got that up a little bit. We also tilted it forward a little bit so to reduce the glare from the outside. And because we had that earthquake recently, got me thinking about earthquake safety. I went around the whole rest of the house, looked for all the things that are high and could be tippy, could tip over, and found a few of them, and they were all anchored down. I had anchored them down like this one up here. Back here, this has got a couple anchors at the top. Hope you enjoyed watching this. Simple, easy fix, but pretty cool. And I will see you next time on Scott's Garage. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.